How many times will I try write this story again? Can't change an inglorious.
Alright, so today we are doing something different. Not really. It's actually not different. It's actually what we normally do on the channel. But the twist being, it's going to be to the intro of my album called Music, Trauma, and My ... Yeah, I don't really have no structure of how I want this set out. I think I'm going to probably have the lyrics up on this side of some sort, and we're probably going to just go from there. But with that in mind, let's not waste any time. This is the intro of the album, and throughout the theme of the album, if you've listened to the album, chapters out now, you'll know that there is a voice that kind of talks in between at the start of chapter 1 and then in between the chapter 1 and 2, 2 and 4, and at the end of 4. So that we'll start here. Let's just listen to that
Why
first.
don't you just walk away?
And that is one of the most important lines of the album, because that reappears at the outro, end of the outro of Promise.
Why don't you just walk away? Are you sure that you want whatever this is? You talk so much about where you want to take this. But do you know why? Do you know why you are the way that you are?
So I like that. Are you sure that you know? Are you sure that you know what you want? Like, are you sure of this? Whatever this is, like what? And when we're talking about that, we're talking about like what I'm doing now. Whether that be music, whether that be the reactions, whether that be a podcast, whether that be things I'm working on still behind the scenes to this day. You talk so much about where you want to take this, but do you know why? And this kind of explores that. It explores the reasons why I am doing what I'm doing, my motivations behind everything I'm doing. And do you know why you are the way that you are? Well, I am the way I am because of music, trauma, and that will lead into track 2. Again, if you know, you know. So again, it just kind of sets up for what we talk about in the intro, and ultimately that line there of, do you know why you are the way you are?
How many times will I try write this story again? Can't change an inglorious end. If you can't manage to not judge that, then how dare you even call me a friend? I've been trying to speak on things for the last 4 months. Important topics in installments and never paid off despite the lack of interest. But you wanna discredit my performance, I'm Chaz.
How many times will I try write this story again? Part of that would come from a level of frustration, because although this is the intro of the album, it's actually the thing that I've written last. I actually written this after I've written every other track, and so it was kind of ironic that it is the intro, it's the first thing that you hear. But I felt like I needed to make everything in the album to then know what to talk about in the intro. And so this is like my 7th, 8th, 9th even attempt of writing the intro to the album, and it just landed on this one. Like, from the minute I got the first 8, maybe the first 16 done, I was like, okay, I actually feel way more confident on this. And I actually written it in like 20 minutes. So, what I was doing beforehand was trying to engineer it to the finest detail, and I spent like hours upon hours on one of the intros for one of the previous versions, and I just scrapped it completely. Like, took it in a whole different direction. So I was trying to do spin-offs of that and then take certain punchlines from that. We scrapped the whole lot. I ended up just writing something in 20 minutes, and I was like, yep, that works. And only in the last like 8 to 16 did I really think about making it the intro. But that just happened to be that. Pretty self-explanatory bars. Obviously near the end, we've got like a bank kind of money kind of scheme, you know, paying in installments. It never paid off despite the lack of interest. Discredit my performance. So yeah, a little scheme going on there. But I like how we end on "But I'm Chaz," and that leads into our next bit here.
So very not nice to meet ya, yeah, I'm hostile.
So instead of "it's nice to meet you," and "so very not nice to meet you," I'm hostile. At the start of this album, at the start of the story that we're telling here, I'm in a hostile mindset. I'm in a very aggressive, belligerent mindset.
Discredit my performance, I'm Chaz. So very not nice to meet ya, yeah, I'm hostile. Lost child with a lost style, and I got wild with writing 16s, a strong profile, but mediocre, so I'm raising levels with a soft smile.
So I was writing 16s after 16s after 16s, and I look back at a lot of my earlier stuff, and I feel like it's very mediocre. I look back and cringe at a lot of it, like as I'm sure plenty of artists do with their earlier stuff, you know. but I'm trying to raise my levels now, and I've got a soft smile whilst doing it, you know what I mean? I've got this self-confidence about me that we're going to start raising levels with this album, which I'm confident in saying we did.
Lara Croft trials, I'm venturing to find something. Maybe it's myself, and maybe I'll find nothing.
Bar. Lara Croft trials, I'm venturing to find something. Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, we're on a big adventure to find something, you know what I'm saying? And maybe it's within finding myself, and maybe within trying to look for myself, I'll find out other things. Maybe I'll find nothing though, you know? Maybe I'll find myself, maybe I'll find nothing at all, but we're going to explore that. We're going to explore, we're venturing within myself to see what I can find.
Croft trials, I'm venturing to find something. Maybe it's myself, and maybe I'll find nothing. Overthinking emotions until it's mind numbing. Does your brain know how to rest? Because mine does.
Because mine doesn't. Just pausing it there, just so I can keep the lyrics all on screen here. Maybe it's myself, and maybe I'll find nothing. Overthinking emotions until it's mind numbing. So until your mind goes numb. But the oxymoron being I'm overthinking emotions. So you go from having so much going on in your head to just shutting off completely till you're numb, you know? Because does your brain know how to rest? Because my mind doesn't. My mind doesn't know how to rest. That's the ironic thing. In their mind, brain, slight play on words there.
Self-guidance, looking in the mirror like I'm sure he gets a weight on his shoulder that he lifts before he stretched upon the floors these steps. Remember your reflection knows your secrets.
Remember your reflection knows your secrets. You can lie to everyone in the world, but your reflection, you can't lie to yourself. I personally believe you can't lie to yourself deep down. You can lie to yourself temporarily, but deep down you can't. And that's what we're going to talk about next.
A real one can't lie to themselves. A lie story will not end well. So I'm injecting myself into the business and watching something grow within your rapid like stem cells. So I'm injecting myself into the business and watching something grow within you rapid like stem cells. You have stem cell therapy where they inject it into you and it causes something to heal or grow a lot faster. But here it's like I'm injecting myself into the business. I am going to work my way into this industry, work my way into this scene, and you will see it grow. You will see it grow rapidly. And that's what we've done. We've rapidly grown within a scene. And so I'm injecting myself into the business. I purposely looked at Australia and everything that's going on. And I said, right, I want to be a part of that. So I've injected myself in and we've grown with it. I'm injecting myself into the business and watching something grow within your rapid like stem cells. Truthfully, all this life I'm getting feels new to me. Saying I'll be spearheading 2 lanes I'm due to be stupidly.
Spearheading 2 lanes I'm due to be. So 2 lanes specifically being my music and also the media side. Like I want to spearhead 2 different lanes at once. Now, that's originally what it was, but I like it that I've not exactly named it in this song. I mean, I'm telling you now and I'm being open and honest about that, but there's also, it could be any 2 lanes. So that could be the podcast lane and an entertainment lane. That could be a business lane. But you know what I mean? It's like I'm ready to be doing more than just one thing. I'm ready to be out here, you know what I mean, trying to lead in multiple different directions.
All this life I'm getting feels new to me. Saying I'll be spearheading 2 lanes I'm due to be stupidly. You do this for bits and duty free. I'll do bits for people like me in communities just like mine.
Stupid.
That's been looked at with scrutiny. I'll be screw facing in my grave at my eulogy.
So you do this for bits and duty free. You do this for materialistic things. I do this for the people that are like me in areas and communities that are just like mine, that have been looked at with scrutiny because of where we're from. We're looked down upon. But you know what? The only scrutiny, the only screwing that's going on around here is my screw face. Yeah. Screw facing in my grave at my eulogy and pointing gun fingers to the sky so prudently. That's the way of showing love for all that you man do for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'll take this to my grave. I will forever be myself. I will forever rep the community and the scene that we are from.
Pointing gun fingers to the sky so prudently. That's my way of showing love for all that you man do for me. So what can I do for you?
Like, so through all of this love for me, what can I do for you, man?
Can I hold 2 things together with my super glue? Studying the games, taking notes like a student do. The other doing what I know to try and maneuver through you.
Can I hold 2 things together with my super glue? Could I potentially ever be a bridge between the UK and Australia? Could I ever have a solo music career and be able to talk about others at the same time? Could I hold a UK culture and an Australian culture and yet have my own life and lifestyle within that? Does my super glue hold these two gargantuan different things together at all times? That's kind of what that's touching on there. Studying the games like taking notes like a student do, the other doing what I know to try and maneuver through. So, you know what I mean? Like, can I study the game? Can I really take note in what's going on and try and learn, and at the same time still do what I know so far to try and work my way through that? Can I learn and still be pushing through and teaching others at the same time?
You hate me, can't better than you know I should be. Perhaps I'm not as popping as maybe I could be. Never selling my soul for the price you would need. If you think I'm changing for the clout, you misunderstood me.
You hate me, can't better than you know I should be. There are certain men who really believe that I am shit. And if you still think that, fair enough, I can't ever force you to. But at the end of the day, I think there's plenty of people that hate to admit I'm better than what they think I am. Or they think, rah, Chaz is actually good for a YouTuber. Or Chaz is actually good for a reactor. Or Chaz is good because it's, I don't know, fucking him. You know what I mean? I'm better than some of you man want to admit. In my egotistical, humble opinion. You know what I mean? Like right now when I'm doing this video, I'm probably in more of a humble mindset. But when I'm touching out, when I'm spitting these lyrics, I genuinely think I am way better than certain man give me props for, which you should be doing as an artist and especially a rapper. You should, as a rapper, when you are touching mic, you should believe you are the best in the world. I 100% agree with that. And perhaps I'm not as popping as maybe I could be. Perhaps I could be way bigger than what I am now, but I'm never gonna sell my soul for the price that you would need for that. And if you think I'm changing for that level of clout, you misunderstood me. So it's basically saying there are certain things I probably could have done to have been at a bigger level in terms of numbers, to have a bigger following, to perhaps even be making more money. But I'm not going to sell my soul for that. And we talk about that a lot later on in the album as well, you know, being organic and not being plastic in how we maneuver in this business. So I know there are things that I definitely should be doing because it will benefit me, but I can't pretend to be something I'm not at the same time. And I do agree that I probably should be a little bit more business minded, but I definitely can't do it to a level where I'm uncomfortable with myself.
Cause I won't fit your image like picture frames. Money can't buy my pride. I got richer aims, that's just how I'm made. I'm built with inch of pains. Open up a wounded past, I won't want to stitch again.
Some heavy lyricism here. So I won't fit your image like picture frames. I won't fit the image that you want. That like I won't fit in the picture frame that you've got for me. Money can't buy my pride. I got richer aims. No matter how much money you throw at me, it will not. My pride is worth more than that. And so that is a richer thing to aim to continue doing for me personally. That's just how I'm made. I'm built with injured pains. I'm built off of a traumatic past, and I've not had the worst upbringing in the world. Let me make that very clear now. I'm not going to be on DJ Sanchez talking about some madness, yeah? I've been on there, talked about what I've talked about, and it ain't half the shit that some other people do. Not to knock them either, but that's just not me. I've not had that bad of an upbringing, but I've seen some shit, and yeah, there are still pains that come with that. But we won't open up a wounded past. I will not want to stitch again. So if we open up that wound, I don't want to stitch it again. I don't want to keep opening it up. I want to let that heal, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Meantime, I would smile and say that I'm grand. Never had to catch a body or weigh a gram.
I've never had to murk no one. I've never had to weigh up grams. I've never had to do that. But you know what I will do?
Discuss the problems I'm facing as a man. Let's talk about why I am the way I am.
So that bar there is where I'm now conscious that this is going to be the intro of the album. So now it's like, right, how can I get this into the punchline that I want it to be? I know I wanted the punchline to be music trauma and my environment. Spoiled it, but yeah, environment being track 2. But let's talk about why I am the way I am. So that links back to the start as well. why you are the way that you are. And that's where we kind of come full circle. So we've talked about everything, and all right, let's address that last point that you made.
This music's my mental on a late night, and I give everything I can. I will do this every day I stand, till my name, my brand. So fuck them and the daylight scams. Think I give a fuck if you don't rate my jam. I'll save lives, and one day it might pay my fam. You got materials, but you are not made like man. I'm like this because of music trauma.
Pause that. Oh, right on the dot. Any later and that would have moved over. But yeah, so let's go through that. So this music's my mental on a late night, and I give everything I can. I would do this every day I stand, till my name might brand. So fuck them and their daylight scams. First off, the delivery within this, probably the best delivery I've ever had on a track. The perfect blend between not overdoing it to the point where I can't breathe, or, you know, stumbling over words, but I really did spit this from the chest. This is one of the tracks on the album where I did have to one take it, because I had to build that momentum for myself. And I would like to say that you can hear that in the delivery. We have the roller coaster effect in this intro. We have our ups and downs, and here we are ending on such a big high. You know what I mean? I would give this everything I can to the day I will be standing left. Whether that is music, whether that's just me just doing what the fuck I want to do. No matter what I want to set myself to, I need to make sure that I'm putting in everything I can. And if my name might brand, it might become a brand, it might become a big thing, then so be it. But fuck them and their daylight scams. There are people that are doing shit right under people's noses, like blatantly. Fuck them, man. I'm going to do my thing until my name brands. I'm not building up nothing else for nobody else if I'm not interested in it. I'm only building me at this point in my life. You know, so you think I really give a fuck if you don't rate my jam? You think I give a fuck if you don't like what I'm doing? I don't care. Like, I am doing my thing, innit? I'll save lives, and one day it might pay my fam. Getting messages saying, yo, you've saved my mental health. Like, yo, you've helped me through tough times. Yo, literally saved my life. And what? Off of doing that same shit, one day it might pay my family. You really give a fuck? You really think I give a fuck what you think when I have that mindset? Which is tough to keep every day, let's be real. But at this point of the story, at the start of the story, that's the mindset that we've got. I'm saving lives and I'm trying to pay my family. Like, what? So what if I get a comment saying you don't like this? So be it, big man. If you don't like it, fair enough. You got materials, but you are not made like man. You've got materialistic things, but you are not made like me. You are not cut from the same cloth. I'm like this because of music trauma and it leads on to track 2, environment, which rounds off the 3 things that make me what I am. I am the way I am because of the music I listen to, the experiences that I have been through, and the area that I have grown up in. The things that I choose to surround myself with outside of that physical environment. Whether that be listening to a certain type of podcast, whether that be hanging out with a specific type of friend, whether that be, you know what I'm saying? And so I think the 3 major things that make me who I am: music, trauma, and my environment. And I think that sets a great stage for the rest of the album, in my opinion. I think this intro is the best intro I've ever written, and I will say that about a lot of the tracks that I've done. Best outro, best intro, best single, etc, etc. But my best work has gone into this album, and I think this intro is a great structure and a great entry point to the rest of it. So yeah, if you haven't listened to Music Trauma and mine, feel free to go click the link in the description. If you haven't listened to the album, I really highly encourage you to do so. Love to everyone who has supported the album. I probably should have done this nearer to the time of it releasing, but you know what, I thought, let's let people live with it, and we'll go over it now. This will probably be a video that's viewed way less than usual, but you know what, if you listen right through to the end, really do appreciate it, people. Thank you, honestly. And yeah, if you want me to do another one of these, let me know which track you would like me to do it for. And if you're like, nah, Chaz, you know what, this is a cool idea, but I'm not bothered, then let me know. So be it. But yeah, appreciate you, man, for listening. Chapters out now.